including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Craig Stammen's postgame comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
Back here at Petco Park, welcoming to our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score in this series and homestand opener against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The D-backs 8 and the Padres nothing, as the Padres fall after winning yesterday's series finale in L.A. Padres have now lost 9 of their last 10. They are also shut out for a second time in their last 3 games. Padres dropped to 44-46 on the season. The Diamondbacks improved to an even 500 at 45-45. As always, our postgame coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, need a little me time? Jamul Spa was just named one of the top 100 spas in America. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Well, you'd hope that yesterday's win, snapping the 8-game losing skid, would be a little momentum for this team coming home. But as they say, and I do think it's an appropriate, old saying in baseball, momentum is as good as your next day's starting pitcher. And the issue here tonight was a familiar one, Walker Buehler, for a second straight outing. Really, really, really tough. 5 innings, 7 runs given up. Padres trailed 6-0 in this game after 2.5 innings. Buehler giving up 2 runs in the first inning, 4 runs in the third, including a big 3-run home run to Max Kepler that really felt like the defining swing in this game. And the Padres found themselves down 6-0 after 3, 7-0 after 4. Obviously not a great position to put your offense in. But the other issue here today was that the Padres just did not do anything offensively against Brandon Pfaadt, who went 5 shutout innings. Ryan Thompson went 2 scoreless innings out of the Arizona bullpen. Dre Jamison went 2 scoreless innings. In fact, the Padres did not have an extra base hit in this game. They had plenty of hits, 8 of them, but no extra base hits. And the Padres had a grand total of 1 runner in scoring position in this game. They did not have a runner in scoring position to second base until the 7th inning. Again, I think that's sort of the subheader tonight, the headline, Walker Buehler for a second straight outing, and 1 outing after giving up a career-high 9 runs, gives up 7 in 5 innings today. And, look, Walker Buehler for a while had been this team's best and I would say most consistent starting pitcher. If you want to talk about from mid-May through most of June, this team's most consistent starting pitcher, but has not been that way at all the last couple of outings. And now I think you got to be a little bit concerned about him moving forward and add him on to the list of concerns for the Padres rotation. The starting pitching continues to be a major issue. Again, yesterday they got 5 shutout innings from J.P. Sears. It was a good taste of, a nice win and what it means to get good starting pitching. But here today, the tone was set pretty early. The 2 runs in the first inning for Arizona. And by the time we were done with 4 innings and Walker Buehler was still on the mound, he had given up 7 runs and the Padres were down 7-0. And really that was the story in this one. The offense also quiet, but an uphill battle before they took a turn at bat here tonight. When we come back, full radio highlights. We'll recap this game from start to finish. We'll go downstairs, hear from Craig Stammen coming up in just a little bit as well. Final score again today, the Arizona Diamondbacks 8 and the San Diego Padres nothing. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues after this.
Woodsy here. My family loves Eco Water SoCal. Get a free...
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here today, D-backs 8 and the Padres nothing, as the Padres lose this series opener to Arizona. We talked in the pregame about how similar these two teams are right now. And just to recap kind of the scene with these teams coming in, they both entered 44 and 45. Both teams entered 4 games out of a wild card spot in the National League. Both teams had not played particularly well lately, each with a record of 13 and 21 going back to May 29. So very, very similar teams playing a big 4-game series here in the final week before the All-Star break. Series opener here tonight. Let's tell you how it went down.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Well, this game did not get off to a good start for Walker Buehler. Ketel Marte led off the game with a triple to center. Didn't seem like Jackson Merrill had a great read on it. Really tough play, but it ended up banging off the base of the center field fence, bounced away. Marte turned it into a leadoff triple. Buehler then hit Geraldo Perdomo with a pitch with runners on first and third. Perdomo took off for second. Buehler stepped off. He threw to second base, but the throw was high, went into center. That allowed Marte to score from third, a costly error on Walker Buehler. And just like that, the D-backs had a 1-0 lead. Later in the inning, Max Kepler drove in Perdomo with an RBI single. It was 2-0. D-backs right-hander Brandon Pfaadt was rolling early, 2 scoreless innings to begin the night. Padres still trailed 2-0 going to the top of the third. Corbin Carroll hit a 1-out double. Gabriel Moreno singled, but runners on first and third. That brought up Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Gurriel flew to left his first time up, chops one through the right side. That's a base hit. Carroll trots home from third, RBI single. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. wasting no time. And the Diamondback lead is now 3-0.
It was not 3-0 for long. Moments later, 2 on base. Max Kepler dug in.
Swatting the ball. Now a long fly ball to right field for Kepler. Fernando's barely going to turn around to watch. A 3-run home run for Max Kepler. His first as a Diamondback. And with that swing of the bat, it goes from 3-0 to 6-0.
Yeah, not a good first few innings for Walker Buehler. D-backs led 6-0 after 2.5 innings. Buehler gave up another home run in the third, a solo shot to Geraldo Perdomo. It was 7-0. Buehler would make it through 5, but the damage done. Meanwhile, Brandon Pfaadt went 5 shutout innings. He allowed just 4 singles. That was it. Padres did not have a runner in scoring position against them. Alec Jacob came in, gave up a solo home run to Nolan Arenado in the top of the 6th inning. That made it 8-0. And beyond that, really not a whole lot more to tell you about. Jacob did a good job in the 7th and the 8th. Scoreless innings. Ron Marinaccio, a scoreless top of the 9th inning. On the D-back side of things, their bullpen very good. Ryan Thompson, 2 scoreless innings after Pfaadt went 5. Dre Jamison, 2 scoreless innings. And that was that here today. Padres trailed 6-0 after 3, 7-0 after 4, 8-0 after 6. They did have 8 hits in this game, but all of them were singles. Padres didn't put a runner on second base until the 7th inning, and that was that here tonight. Final score, D-backs 8 and the Padres nothing. Final totals here today for Arizona: 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. And for the Padres, no runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Padres again dropped to 44 and 46, and the D-backs improved to 45 and 45. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen as the Padres lose a 9th time in their last 10 games. Padres also shut out for a 2nd time in the last 3 games. Remember, they were shut out 3-0 in LA on Saturday. So a game here tonight where, well, really nothing went right for the Padres as far as the pitching, starting pitching with Walker Buehler, as far as the offense, and certainly defensively, some issues as well, as the Padres fall in this series opening game of this 4-game set. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Craig Stammen. That comes your way after this.
We'll be right back.
Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Final score here today, Padres falling 8-0 in this series opener against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And quite frankly, a ball game that doesn't take a whole lot for me to explain it. Once again, starting pitching, a major issue here tonight. Walker Buehler roughed up. He went just 5 innings. Well, that wasn't the problem, the 5 innings, really. It was the 7 runs and 2 home runs given up in the 5 innings here today. Rough outing for Walker. Padres fell behind 6-0 after 3, 7-0 after 4. Offense was not great tonight either. They did have 8 hits, but all of them singles. Padres never really had a major threat in this game, per se. Brandon fought 5 scoreless innings for Arizona, and the Padres dropped this series opener to the Arizona Diamondbacks. So kind of a no-good sports day here in San Diego. And now I do want to, before we hear from Craig Stammen, give the Padres and Petco Park a lot of credit. They did a really good job incorporating the U.S. soccer match against Belgium in the World Cup earlier today. It was a bit of a tough spot because that match kicked off at 5 p.m., and the game started at 6:40 here, the Padre game. So they did a really good job setting up a nice atmosphere in Gallagher Square. There were few thousand people out there by the time the game started, the soccer match started. And I actually, to be honest with you, after I was done with pregame, I went out there to Gallagher Square. Belgium was already ahead 3-1. I don't know what the goalie, the keeper, was doing with the third goal. Neither here nor there. But I went out there to Gallagher Square. It was really, really nice. And then they had a split screen with the Padre game on and the soccer match on. And they did a really, really good job. People were watching it here inside the loft. So, hey, tough sports day. If you're a USA soccer and Padre fan, and if you're a Mexico soccer fan, it's been a kind of a tough 24 hours or so sports-wise between that match and today's U.S. match and the ball game here today. But Padres did do a really good job with the party in the park, giving people the opportunity to come to the Padres game and enjoy that USA soccer match in kind of a watch party atmosphere. Just wanted to say that before we go downstairs here from Craig. Again, final score, Padres fall 8-0. Walker Buehler giving up 7 runs in 5 innings. Padres, unfortunately going through sort of the similar story here today. The starting pitching a problem. The offense not a whole lot better in this game, despite having 8 hits. And with all that in mind, let's go downstairs and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres skipper Craig Stammen. Served up by Sinley Food. If you've had better chicken, you must be a rooster.
Craig, that didn't look great from elsewhere. I wonder what that looked like from the dugout.
Didn't look good, didn't feel good, doesn't taste good. We got to wash that one off quick and get back at it and get the focus and the attitude that we had even in LA.
What did happen? I know a 9-0 or 8-0, whatever, is not going to look good, or it's not, the team that loses is going to look a certain kind of way. But what did happen tonight to explain that?
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't get a leadoff guy on. Just 8 singles, just not much action offensively. Their pitcher handled us well tonight. We didn't have much fight for him. And then, we got down early with Walker, giving up, the big 4 spot in the 3rd inning. So just a tough day all around. Not good starting pitching, not very good hitting, good bullpen. Alec Jacob and Ron Marinaccio pitched great for us tonight. Help save our pen for tomorrow.
If you could put it in context, how disappointing that is. I mean, it's a big week, and it's a big couple weeks coming up, and you guys have talked about like the momentum and all that. I just wonder how disappointing the performance like that would be.
Yeah, it is a disappointing performance. It doesn't define the rest of the homestand, and that's our job, is to bounce back and be ready to go and give a better effort tomorrow night.
What do you think Walker's problem's been second start like this?
Yeah, second start in a row. Can't blame the weather conditions like we could in Chicago, but he's just leaving balls over the plate, and guys are doing damage on it. There was a few C&I singles tonight, a couple misplays in the 1st inning. But the big hit was the 3-run home run that Kepler hit. And he just avoided that in all the previous starts, in the month of June.
That was Padres manager Craig Stammen following this 8-0 loss for the Padres against the Diamondbacks here tonight. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue our post-game coverage brought to you by Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Couple of things I want to chew on there. Number one, the big picture, which is, I guess, two elements to it. Number one, look, let's be honest about it. This has been the issue. I mean, the starting pitching has been a major, major problem over the course of the last few weeks, and especially this 10-game span where the Padres are now 1-9, going back to that second game before the road trip against the Dodgers at home. The starting pitching has been a major issue. Now, you've been looking for guys to go a little bit deeper, and Buehler did go 5, which isn't quote-unquote deep, but it's better than some of the other starts we've seen. But the problem was he went 5 and gave up 7 runs. And, sort of negates the even going 5 if you're going to give up that much damage. And it's I think the macro of what's going on that you did have a little reprieve from the starting pitching issues yesterday with Sears being really good, 5 shutout innings. But then here today, it didn't feel great after you had a nice game yesterday and then you show up today and it's kind of the same old stuff with the pitching really struggling and you're behind and it gets out of hand. That's a little disheartening, no doubt. The other, and you heard Kevin Acee ask the question there and allude to it, there's no way around it. It is a really big final week before the All-Star break for this team for a lot of reasons. A, because of just what's been going on. B, because of who they're playing. Remember, the Diamondbacks and the Padres, like I said before, they came in with identical records. This is a team that you are directly competing with in a wild card race. And by the way, you want to win a season series against because you don't want to lose that tiebreaker too. And the Padres have already lost a couple of tiebreakers to teams that could be in that wild card mix when it's all said and done. This is a big week for that reason. And also, and look, there's been so much talk about the trade deadline. And I've said this for like 2 weeks. I think as an industry, as people who talk about the game, I think we talk about the trade deadline way too early. I don't need to talk about the trade deadline in in late May, the middle of June. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't even need to talk about it right now on July 6th. Okay? The trade deadline is not till the first couple of days of August. Okay, so you're still like almost 4 weeks away from the trade deadline. My point is, even though we are far away from the deadline, and I don't even think you have to make quote unquote decisions about what you are. I mean, people love to ask all these guys and ask the manager, about the deadline and what, approach AJ Preller is going to have. We're not even there yet. I digress. With that said, with each passing day and each passing game, you are getting closer and closer to that point. You still have time if you're the Padres to go, sort of prove that, you can go be a buyer at the deadline. But with each passing day, and especially considering what the Padres are going through and how bad it's gone over the course of the last 10 games, especially, and where you are now back to 2 games below 500 and 4.5 games out of a playoff spot, it is a very important week because if you have a bad week, you could have a really tall hill to climb coming out of the break. You could. And you could have a really tall hill to climb to just, when you get back from the break and you've got essentially a 2-week sprint, 2.5 week sprint to that trade deadline, you don't want to dig yourself a hole where you can't get out of it. And the decision's kind of made. Again, the trade deadline's a ways away. The Padres still have plenty of time and plenty of games to turn this thing around before then. But you have a bad week, and you could be looking at a scenario where you have a really big hole to dig out of coming out of the break. So that's the macro of tonight's game and the whole picture. Now, with Walker Buehler, more specifically, Yeah, it's concerning. I mean, Walker had been so good for a while, and this was the second straight start. He just didn't have it. Now, you heard Craig allude to the weather in Chicago, the hot, windy weather, and that played a factor in Chicago. I don't think it was all the factor. I don't think you give up 9 runs in, 4 innings? Yeah, 9 runs in 4 innings last Wednesday in Chicago just because of wind. And I think he would say that. But today was not a whole lot better. It was 5 innings and 7 runs and 2 home runs given up and got out of hand. I mean, not the start you wanted from Walker at all. And we sort of wondered pregame, okay, was the start in Chicago just sort of a blip on the radar, or is this more of a concern with Buehler that, the good stretch has come to an end, at least for now. And unfortunately, today was another really tough start, and it just adds on, unfortunately, another concern with the starting pitching. I mean, there's no way around it. It adds on another element of concern of, okay, well, now Buehler is somebody who all of a sudden is struggling. So it's not what you want. No doubt about that. Padres have no choice but to brush themselves off, show up tomorrow. Like you heard there with Craig, it is a big week. Every game right now, even though there's a lot of baseball left to play, I think feels very big because of what they're going through. And anytime you're losing, games like this, yesterday felt huge. That felt like, especially when they were up 5-0, 5-2, it felt huge. Like they had to find a way to snap that losing skid. It felt like it had to be managed like a playoff game, which kind of was, considering, Morejon throwing almost 40 pitches and all of that. So every game's going to feel a little bit magnified right now. And unfortunately, here tonight, Buehler didn't have it. Offense, again, they weren't great tonight. No runs on 8 hits, but anytime you fall behind 6-0, 7-0 in the first 3-4 innings of a game, I mean, the entire tenor of the game changes, I think, completely. So I look more at that than I do the offense tonight, but bottom line, the offense got shut out as well against, a guy like Brandon Pfaadt that you would hope the Padres would be able to do a little bit of damage against. When we come back, we'll get into our daily awards. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, 833-288-0973. The phone number to dial if you want to chime in on our post-game coverage tonight. Much, much more to do. Final score again, Arizona 8, San Diego 0 on the Padres Radio Network.
For over 70 years, Sid's Carpet.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Final score here today, Diamondbacks 8 and the Padres nothing, as the Padres fall 2 games below 500 to 44 and 46. You know, one thing we didn't hear about there from Craig Stammen is we didn't hear about the pitching plans for tomorrow. Now, Johnny Brito was in the clubhouse earlier today. We'll hear from him on the pregame tomorrow. He will be activated before tomorrow's game. We know that. Question is what the Padres are going to do with Brito. Will he start tomorrow's game? Will he pitch out of the bullpen? Will it be, like an opener situation and then Brito? Will it be German Marquez starting? Maybe Brito's just out of the bullpen if you need him. Unclear. So we'll see. We should find out, I would assume, by, sometime early tomorrow what the Padres plan to do. In fact, we may get info on that just by the end of tonight. So if we get it, we'll pass it along. But Johnny Brito will get activated tomorrow. I don't know that he's necessarily going to pitch tomorrow. Could start tomorrow for all I know. But we'll see. He will be available for tomorrow's game, which, by the way, is significant in the sense of Johnny has not pitched in the major leagues since late 2024. He had a flexor surgery with an internal brace, had to rehab from that. Then he's been at AAA. So it's going to be, when he does make it back to the major leagues, I think a bit of a momentous moment for Johnny Brito, as it should be. First time he'll have pitched in the major leagues in almost 2 years. So good for Johnny. He will be activated tomorrow, but what that looks like and by the way, what the spot's going to be that clears up for him, I think is a good question as well. I would maybe surmise that it could be Alec Jacob heading down because he threw 3 innings today in 42 pitches. I don't know that for sure. I'm just speculating, but they are going to have to make room on the pitching staff for Johnny, and we know he's going to get activated. He was here today. So we'll see what the deal is with Brito, and if we get any info on that before we go, we will be sure to pass it along. Speaking of the bullpen, let's tell you about our relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, brought to you by San Diego criminal defense attorney David P. Shapiro. We help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Learn more at davidpshapirolaw.com.
Relief pitcher of the game here tonight. We'll give it to Alec Jacob, and I give it to him for really one reason, and that is the fact that he went 3 innings and threw 42 pitches. I mean, again, a game like this where you're down 7-0 after 4. Yeah, you want to give yourself a chance to come back and mount enough offense and rallies to come back. Sure, yeah. But you also don't want to start burning through a ton of bullpen arms. And Jacob did go 3 innings, got 9 outs, threw 42 pitches, only gave up a run, the home run to Arenado, first batter he faced. He actually was very good after that. He ended up retiring 9 out of the next 10 batters he faced after that home run to Arenado. So for that reason, Alec Jacob, our relief pitcher of the game. Ron Marinaccio, also a good scoreless inning in the 9th. And again, good. The only, I suppose, silver lining from this game that you can take away is the fact that the Padres didn't have to use more relief arms than Alec Jacob and Ron Marinaccio. Let's take a look at the Padres' heart of the order.
Let's take the pulse of the Padres and check in on the heart of the order. Presented by Palomar Health Medical Group.
Part of the order here tonight, Manny Sheets in Ty France. Manny Machado on his 34th birthday went 1 for 4. Only hit was a single. Gavin Sheets went 1 for 4. His hit was a single. Ty France had a base hit in this game. His hit was a single. Padres had 8 hits. Cronenworth had 2. Merrill had 2. But problem was all 8 were singles in this game. They did not have an extra base hit. And as a result, they didn't have a runner on second base until the bottom half of the 7th inning when the game was a little bit out of reach already. So let's look at the heart of the order today. A combined 3 hits for Manny Sheets in France and 3 singles between the 3 hitters in the heart of the order. A couple of notes on the offense today, just so you know. Jake Cronenworth, his 3rd multi-hit game in the last 6 games. That I think has gone a little bit overlooked as of late, A, because of the results, win and loss, and B, because of I would say his error on Friday, believe it or not, because that was such a critical play on Friday in that loss in LA. But Jake has swung the bat well since coming back. He really has. The home run in LA, and again, 3 multi-hit games for Jake Cronenworth in the last 6 games. And, he came back during that series in Chicago. He's played well. His offense has been way better than it was before he went on the IL. Gavin Sheets did extend his hit streak to 7 games, a season high, tied for the second longest in his career. For Fernando Tatis Jr., he entered tonight, reaching base in 25 consecutive games at home. He did not reach base in this game. He went 0 for 3. So that was unfortunate here tonight. One other note for you on Jacob. His second career outing of 3 or more innings with what he did here tonight. Again, that's a big deal. I know it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's a big deal when a guy goes out there, gives you 3 innings, and saves you from having to use another bullpen arm. Good for Alec Jacob. He contributed here tonight, despite the final score being 8-0 in favor of the D-backs. When we return, a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll get you ready for tomorrow's game against the Diamondbacks. Much more to do on our post-game coverage. You're listening to the Padres Radio Network.
Keep it locked.
Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network, live from Petco Park on this Monday night. Final score, Diamondbacks 8 and the Padres nothing. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open. Day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Jamul Casino Resort, the players' place. You know what I might do over the All-Star break? Might head out to Jamul Casino Resort, spend a day out there. That would be nice. That'd be nice. Maybe a nice little day evening out at Jamul Casino Resort. As always, the sponsor of our post-game coverage here on the Padres Radio Network. Another tough one here tonight for the Padres. If you just happen to be joining us, Padres losing 8-0. Walker Buehler giving up 7 runs in 5 innings, including 6 in the first 3 innings. Padres trailed 6-0 after 2.5 innings tonight. They've lost 9 out of 10. They're shut out for the second time in 3 games as they drop 2 games below 500 to 44-46. Diamondbacks improved to 45-45. Now 6 games remaining on this homestand and 6 games remaining before the All-Star break. And then we will have wrapped up the ceremonial first half of this 2026 season. Let's tell you what's going on around the major leagues on this Monday.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Well, everything has gone final today aside from one game. Let's tell you about the finals first. The Giants beat the Blue Jays 10-1 today in San Francisco. Landon Root went 8 innings, gave up 1 run in that game for the Giants. 2 home runs in that one for Elliot Ramos as the Giants beat up on the Blue Jays. The Brewers beat the Cardinals 4-3 in St. Louis today. Win for the Brew Crew. Mets beat the Braves in 10, 7-6. Mets trailed in that game in the top of the 9th inning. Juan Soto hit a 3-run home run in the 9th inning to put the Mets ahead. Braves would tie it in the bottom half of the 9th inning, went to extras. The Mets scored 2, and the Braves scored 1. Mets win it by a final score of 7-6. Nationals won a wild one today against the Astros in Washington, D.C., 12-1. A lot of home runs in that game for both teams. Curtis Mead hit 1 for the Nats. C.J. Abrams hit 1. James Wood hit a grand slam in that game. Jose Altuve hit a home run in that game for the Astros. Yankees won today 5-1 in Tampa Bay. Really good outing for Cam Schlittler, who went 8 innings, 1 run given up, a home run for Jose Caballero in that game. Ben Rice also went deep for the Yankees, his 25th home run of the season. Royals beat up on the Phillies 15-1 in Kansas City today. Salvador Perez, a home run in that game for the Royals. And finally, one game going on right now. Dodgers and Rockies are tied at 6 in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Shohei Ohtani, a home run tonight for LA, his 19th of the season. Ezekiel Tovar, his 8th of the season for Colorado. In fact, that game is going to extras now, tied at 6. And that is a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, because a lot of teams had the off day today on Monday. We'll have much more games to cover, many more games to cover tomorrow on Tuesday around the major leagues. Final score again here tonight, Diamondbacks 8 and the Padres nothing. Let's hear today's play of the game.
One bounce, one hit, one pitch can be the difference between victory and defeat. What was the most important play in today's game? This is today's play of the game. Presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Restoration and Flood. We know how.
Swatting the ball. Now a long fly ball to right field for Kepler. Fernando's barely going to turn around to watch. A 3-run home run for Max Kepler, his first as a Diamondback. And with that swing of the bat, it goes from 3-0 to 6-0.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was our play of the game tonight. The Max Kepler home run, a 3-run shot in the third. Made it go, like Jesse said, from 3-0 to 6-0. Max Kepler's first home run of the season, his first home run as an Arizona Diamondback. Just joined the Diamondbacks as they signed him. Only 8 games in, hit his first home run as a D-back. And to me, no doubt the play of the game, because up until that swing, look, it wasn't going well for Walker. He gave up 2 runs in the first inning, hit a batter, committed an error in the first inning, walked a batter. And then you had the third where he gets the first out, gives up a double, a single, RBI single. It's 3-0. But still, in that point in the game, it's only a 3-0 game. It's manageable. And then Kepler comes in or steps to the plate and whack, 3-run home run. All of a sudden, you went from 3-0 to 6-0 and did not feel like you were in a particularly good position to win this ball game when you were down 6-0 after 2.5 innings. But that was the situation today. Kepler, the home run, and unfortunately, that was today's play of the game. All right, taking a look ahead to tomorrow, the second game of this 4-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Like we said, the pitching situation for the Padres tomorrow, a little bit unclear. What we do know is Johnny Brito will be activated tomorrow. That means somebody is going to have to be sent down. So we'll see what the corresponding move is. We know Brito will be activated. We do not know what role he will fill. Could start tomorrow's game, might not. Padres did not confirm that before the game, and we have not heard anything since the game ended. So we'll see. Brito will be active, but could be Brito, could be somebody else. Starting tomorrow's game could be, like I said, an opener ahead of Brito, could be Herman Marquez. I don't know. We'll see. So right now, starting pitcher for the Padres tomorrow to be announced as far as the D-backs, right-hander Zach Gallen on the mound for Arizona. First pitch tomorrow, 6:40 p.m. Our pregame coverage will begin from right here inside the Western Metal Building at 5:40. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also go back on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and watch any portion of our post-game coverage there as well. A look at the final totals here tonight for the Diamondbacks. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. They left on 5. For the Padres, no runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. They left on 8. Winning pitcher tonight, Brandon Pfaadt, who improves to 2-1. Losing pitcher, Walker Buehler, who drops to 5-5. Time of game tonight, 2 hours and 25 minutes. And the crowd here in downtown San Diego at Petco Park on this Monday, 38,204. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 6:40 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 5:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Jeff Hamby, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Petco Park. Again, the final score here tonight, the Arizona Diamondbacks 8 and the San Diego Padres 0. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great rest of your Monday night.